I was never a daredevil. I was exactly the opposite. I was afraid most of my life. So when I received that message in 2014, I wasn't willing to become that daredevil then either. And then it came back again 10 years later in 2014. It said, now you can be the daredevil. I still didn't believe that either. See, being that daredevil is when you are willing to own who you are, discover that unique being that you're meant to become in this world. And you could be feeling that now and recognizing that maybe you haven't done that yet. Recognizing that that courage that you were seeking has not shown up yet. And that was for me. And when you continue to do that, you don't evolve. You don't do what you're here to do, and then you don't aid the world. You see, because now I understand that what that message was saying, that we're all meant to become that daredevil within us and owning who we are. But it's a process. It's a process that we move through, and eventually we will decide that that time is now. And for me, that time is now. Because I can no longer ignore what I was given, and I can no longer ignore what is occurring in our world. And I knew that this was part of that plan. As you are a part of the plan, that's why you're in the world now, is to evolve into something that you were always meant to do, and it's in front of you right now. And I can say that because I've also been shown through Wilhelm, there's an organization, there's timing and everything in our universe and in your life. We just come to understand that in different ways and at different times as we live as humans. And that's what Wilhelm wanted us all to understand. It's why this work came through, because we're moving through a really transformative time. And so we must become the daredevils. And what that means is owning ourselves and loving who we are and discovering what we came to the world to do, and then finally doing it. And that's what I'm meant to do now. I'm going to read the message to you, however, because it was one that I ignored. You might do that. Because we can't believe everything about ourselves right away. That is our self-actualization process. That's personal development, however you think of it. But this came through in 2014. Be a daredevil. A daredevil is one who acknowledges that some particular challenge or difficulty that is in front of them may elicit a great amount of fear, but they decide that the only way to conquer and move beyond that fear is to do the thing anyway. There is no greater exhilaration than to know you have done this, and the result is you always expand. You recognize that you did not die in either the physical or spiritual sense. You would do well to adapt this attitude with everything you do, even those mundane things, for you have allowed that fear to control your life. It is fear of judgment, criticism, lack, and any other things, and none of them matter in the end. When you decide to leave your physical body, you know none of those things were truly important. We don't always know that as we're living, and so that causes us to hold back. Like maybe we have time to live forever. We don't. And so the world is changing now, and so we all must change, and I must do the same thing. Because I've held back so much as you might have done. But as you read the article, you will see what's here. You will see what you can accomplish, things that I could not believe, but I know what is possible for every single person. So I'm much more willing now to be this daredevil, and you may be reaching that place in your life where you're willing to do that as well, which means complete ownership of yourself and contributing to the evolvement of the world, because that's why you were born. It is within you. Enjoy the article.